Hey, what is up, you guys? My name is Elizabeth Polk, and welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new here. I would first like to begin by saying congratulations to all of the graduates of 2023. Whether you're graduating at the high school or collegiate level, it is a huge accomplishment, and I'm so proud of you guys. I think you guys are actually the very first graduating class since COVID-19 in 2020 to actually have a real graduation this year. So kudos to you guys, and once again, congratulations. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. But since it is graduation season, I want to do this video to tell you guys about my experience on me graduating from college and what that experience was like post-graduation up until now. I think that's something that a lot of you may not know about me, but I am a college graduate. I graduated 4 years ago. I can't believe it's been 4 years already, in May of 2019 from LSU Shreveport, Louisiana State University in Shreveport. So go Pilots. But yes, I graduated with my bachelor's in mass communications with a concentration in journalism and a minor in sociology, and I graduated cum laude, not to toot my own horn, but it was one of the greatest accomplishments, one of the greatest days of my life. But I definitely dealt with some things post-graduation. I even led up to where I'm at now currently in my life, and I wanted to share with you guys. So whether or not you're about to go into college, or you just graduated, or you're about to graduate in the fall of 2023, or even next year, the next 2 years, whatever, this video is going to help you just from my experience and things that I've learned that, like I said, just will definitely help you with your post-graduation experience. So without further ado, I know that intro was kind of long. It was 2 minutes. Sorry about that, but let's just jump right into the video. Okay, so at the time that I graduated, which, like I said, I graduated in May of 2019, May 10th to be exact. At the time I was graduating, I was working at my local Mercedes-Benz dealership. No, I was not selling cars. I wish I was, but I was doing just really random jobs. Like, I was doing everything from receptionist work to filing papers to running errands. Like, I was just doing all of that. And I was working there, and I was making $9.50 an hour. I actually started working there about a couple weeks. No, I think I would say about close to a month before graduation. And I continued working there after graduation, of course, because I didn't just want to up and quit, because then I wouldn't have had a job. But of course, after I graduated, I started to apply for jobs within my field. And oh yes, I already mentioned, but again, I graduated with my degree in mass communication. So I currently live in Shreveport, and I graduated when I graduated from LSUS. LSUS is in Shreveport, of course. And the job market here, we're number 86 in the country as far as, like, you know, mass communications, everything with news, which really isn't like horrible, but like I said, it's not the best. It still is a small market, because where I currently live is only 3 news stations. And with my degree, one thing I do love about my degree is that it's so broad, so there's so many things that you can do with a mass communications degree. But my primarily thing that I wanted to do was get into news, because I wanted to be a news reporter. But I ended up becoming a news reporter, but we're going to get into that. So I applied for a job at one of my local news stations here. Keep in mind, this is after I got my degree, and I forgot what position that I applied for, but it was a part-time position. I think it was something dealing with like being a producer or something like that, or just production, like behind the scenes. Anyway, I applied for the job, and they called me. I did the interview, and they actually offered me the job. Now get this, the job was, like I said, it was part-time. I was only going to get 30 hours a week. I couldn't get no more than 30 hours a week. I was going to be working 6 days a week, y'all, 6 days a week. My only off day was going to be Thursday. And what was so crazy, I remember when the manager was telling me the schedule, I would have to go in on Sunday evening, 5 p.m. to 11 a.m. and then come back 4 hours later for Monday to work 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. The God honest truth, I'm not even lying. And guess how much they were only going to pay me, y'all? Just guess. $9 and some change. Yes, $9 and some change is all I was going to be making at that job. And keep in mind, like I said, I had my college degree at the time in mass communications with the concentration in journalism. So, of course, I was qualified for the job, you know, like education wise. And so when he offered me the job, I was like, I can't accept this. Like I said, I was already making about $9.50 at my job at Mercedes, but I was full time, so I was getting 40 hours a week. And with this job, I was only, like I said, going to be making $9 and some change, and only getting 30 hours a week. So I was actually going to be making less money and working more, and like working, just probably like working way harder. So I told him, I said, I can't accept this. Like, I'm an adult, I have bills, and there's just no way that I can live off of $9 and some change an hour. So he offered to bump up the pay to $10 an hour. But I'm like, even at $10 an hour, with only 30 hours a week, couldn't get any more than 30 hours a week, I would only be making $300 a week, y'all, before tax. It would have been a blessing if I would have cleared $1,000 a month. And there's just no way that you can, there's just no way anyone can live like that. Like I said, keep in mind, I was living on my own. I had my own apartment, so like I do now. My rent at the time, I think, was like 600 some dollars. So incorporate rent, bills, and food, baby, I would have been struggling. I probably even barely would have been eating. So, make a long story short, I decided not to go with that job, of course, because I'm like, I'm not about to be overworking myself and struggling. I mean, I knew it was a way to get my foot into the door, but I was like, it's just not going to be worth it. So I would still continue to work at Mercedes at the time. I worked there for about 4 months, and then they ended up firing me. Yeah, and you're probably like, Liz, what did you do? Why did you get fired? Y'all, this is the God honest truth. They was moving me around so much, and then they moved me to like a whole different department. And I was there for like a week, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to lunch. I went to lunch probably like around 11, came back around 12. And as soon as I sat down, the manager of that department was like, I need to speak to you for a sec. And I just felt in my gut, then I was like, okay, this doesn't sound right. Like, I'm not getting a good feeling about this. And so he took me outside and he was like, this isn't gonna work out, you know, this is it. And I was just like, wait a minute, like, what do you mean? I was like, did something happen during this hour that I was away at lunch? I was like, everything's been good. I was like, I haven't been getting to it anyone. Like my coworkers, management. I was, you know, the training was going well. I was learning very quickly. So I was like, what's really going on? And he was just like, it's just not a good fit. And I was like, well, okay, well, I just see about going back to where I originally was at, you know, at Mercedes. And he was like, no, like, this is it. And to make a long story short, I tried to get my job back, but they didn't. So I ended up getting, like I said, I ended up getting fired. This was in August of 2019. I was out of work for a little over 2 months until I got a job at Target as a seasonal employee. And what's so crazy about that is that they didn't even want to hire me then for a seasonal employee because they felt that I didn't have enough like cashier or retail experience. The only reason I got the job there was because I told them that I had a college degree. So I ended up working there from October of 2019 to January of 2020. Like I said, I was just a seasonal employee and they decided not to keep me on. And so then after that, in February of 2020, I started as a substitute teacher. And I was only doing that for a month because, as you guys know, COVID broke out in March of 2020. So I was out of work for about 5 months. But it wasn't bad because I was collecting unemployment, and at the time I was getting more in unemployment in a week than I had ever made. So I mean, yes, I was out of work, but I was not struggling at all. Like I was living good. I was out of work from March 2020 to September of 2020 when I got a new job working in, well, I was like in sales, but I was working in the fragrance and cosmetic department at Dealers. I did that from September of 2021. No, I'm tripping. I'm sorry. I did that in September of 2020, September 2020 to March of 2021. So I did that for like 6 months. And then I went back to subbing for a couple months until the end of the school year in March of 2021. And I was looking for other jobs then because I knew the school season was ending. And the reason why I left Dealers was because at the time I had started grad school in January of 2021, and it was just kind of becoming a little too much being a full-time employee as well as a full-time grad student. So when I left Dealers and went back to sub, and it just made things a little bit more easier with me focusing more on my schoolwork. But like I said, I subbed until the end of the school year. I knew that it was ending, so I was trying to find work even in the midst, but unfortunately I didn't. So I was out of work again from May of 2021 to August of 2021. So like 3 months, a little over 3 months. And that was one of the worst, hardest times of my life because I didn't have a job. I didn't have any income coming in. Thank God my mom, who was still alive at the time, she was helping me with everything, like paying my rent, paying my bills, giving me food, giving me money for food, spending money and everything. And I was just so I was so depressed during that time because I was like, I can't believe I allowed myself to get into this situation again. My faith was tested. The devil tried to get me to turn from God, but I'm so glad that I didn't. And I thank God I didn't give up. I didn't give up. And I still kept putting in job applications. I think I even had like a couple interviews during that time, but no one ever gave me a job or offered me a job until August of 2021, like I stated, when I got my very first job related to my degree. And I was working as a social media multimedia journalist. I was working for KTBS 3 News in Shreveport. I can say that because I'm no longer there now. I worked there from August of 2021 to August of 2022. And then I left and I started working for a blood center, and they're working for them in their marketing department as their digital media specialist. So I was a social media person. And to be honest, I didn't think I was only going to be there like almost 9 months before I transitioned to where I'm at now. But now I'm currently working as a public relations coordinator for a library system. And I just literally started that job this month in May. So as you guys can see, the timeline was just it was crazy. But the main objective is that I want you guys to realize is that it took me almost 2.5 years after after I graduated from college with my degree before I finally landed me a job. Now, I'm not saying that's going to take you 2.5 years after you graduate before you finally get a job in your degree. I mean, it may take you that time, it could take you less. But I know if you were like me, once I graduated, you were thinking, oh, now I got my degree, I'm done with college, that I'm finally going to get a job in my field within probably the first couple months. But I'm sad to say that it does not always happen that way. Like I said, your story may be like mine and it take you 2.5 years, or it may take you a year and a half, or it might even take you 6 months. But the main thing that I want to share with you guys, and I'm looking down over my notes, that I want to share with you guys what that experience, those 2.5 years, really these 4 years, from graduating in May of 2019 till now, has taught me just about myself, my work ethic, and life in general. So the very first thing it taught me is that a delay is never a denial. Let me repeat that again. A delay is never a denial. God will give us the opportunity when you're ready. So just because you've graduated with your degree does not mean that you are necessarily ready to start your field right then and there. I mean, only, like I said, God knows anything and everything about us. He knows our heart's desires, He knows our plans, but everything that we want right then and there is not always best for us. And honestly, I'm so thankful that God delayed that blessing for me, and it did come at the perfect timing. It really did, because at the time I was not very much mature. I still had some maturing to do. I still had some more life experience and things that I needed to do. I still needed to do some more growing and learning about myself before I got into that field. And I'm so glad that I did, because once I finally did get that social media job, that news reporter job with my degree, I know that I was much more prepared educationally, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and everything. And I mean, I'm not to say that you can't be that as soon as you graduate, but like I said, everyone is different. And for me, I just felt like I needed that time to do all that learning and growing about my work ethic, life in general, and myself before I finally got it. And like I said, God may not come when you want Him, but the timing is always perfect. And God gave me that opportunity when He saw it was fit for me. But the main thing, even during the time, I never questioned God. And if I did, God, please forgive me. I'm sorry, but I never, like I said, never doubted that He couldn't come through, or that I would never would get it, never would get that opportunity and start. And like I said, I'm just thankful that I did. So the second one is use the time as a learning experience. Like I said, those 2.5 years, even up to now, these 4 years since I've been graduated, has just taught me so much, just on who I am as a person, what I want in life, what I want out of a job, how to prepare myself before getting a job, while I'm at the job, and just so many, like I said, just things about life. The experience definitely taught me on ways on how to be better, like I said, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. It was definitely a learning experience. Like the old folks say, sometimes ball learning is the best learning. And like I said, it was really an experience. Definitely experience now that I look back, but it just really, just taught me so much, and just helped better to prepare me for the position that I'm in right now. And the last thing is to be grateful and be humble. Y'all, there are so many people. Well, I don't say so many people, but there are some people right now that's working at Walmart, Target, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, wherever, and have college degrees. And just because they're working there, that doesn't mean that they're less of a person. That doesn't mean that they're stupid or they don't have any dreams or goals. Sometimes that's just where they're at right now. But just because where you are right now, it does not define you. And just because you are working at McDonald's or Walmart, Target, Chick-fil-A, I mean, like I said, that doesn't mean, like I said, like I said, it doesn't mean that you don't have any dreams, you don't have any goals, you don't want anything out of life, you're not educated, or you're a bad person or anything like that. Like I said, I mean, sometimes people just gotta take what they can get. But again, just don't let your situation define you. Just because you're working at Target right now doesn't mean you're always going to be working at Target or working at McDonald's or Walmart or wherever. I mean, continue to go to work, continue to treat your job with dignity and respect, and continue to work hard and have faith to create and live the life that God has for you and that you want to have. So like I said, versus be grateful and just be humble. I was, like I said, definitely grateful just to have a job. I mean, no matter what, like I told, like y'all seen in the timeline, I never, I mean, aside from those couple points where I was out of work, baby, I always had motion. I was always getting to the bag however I needed to get to the bag. It didn't matter. A dollar is a dollar at the end of the day. And it didn't matter to me how I got. Of course, I was going to get it, you know, legally and professionally, of course. But I got to however I did. And even like I said, now I don't look down on people that work at Target or Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or anywhere, because just because that's where they at doesn't mean that's where they always going to be. Everybody has to start somewhere. And that same person that you may want to look down on at Target or Chick-fil-A, that might be the next Oprah Winfrey. That might be the next Rihanna, be the next millionaire, billionaire, business owner. You just never know. And that's the thing too, where I said be grateful and be humble. Be humble. Don't look down on such and such because this is where they're at right now. Because trust me when I say you could be in that same position. I saw this post on Facebook the other day and it said something about if you're like working at McDonald's or something, you don't have motion. I shared that with the stats, like, oh my dear, God will humble you so quick, because he can. Okay, he can. Just because you may be working in your office, not work 9 to 5, making $20-$25 an hour, God forbid something can happen to that, and now you're in line at a McDonald's or a Chick-fil-A settling working for $13 or $15 an hour. And that same person that you was laughing at is now in your position. So like I said, be grateful and be humble, because you never know when it can be you. But like I said, I said all that to say, if you don't get anything out of, like I said, my story, just learn that, just know, like I said, everybody's story is different at the end of the day. Only God knows what the future holds for us. But the main thing is to take whatever life throws at us as a learning lesson, and to never give up, to keep pushing forward. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Like I said, use this as a learning experience. Know that a delay is never a denial. God will never give us anything more than we can't bear. And like I said, he may not come when we want him to, but the timing is always perfect, because we serve a perfect God. And like I said, of course, be grateful and be humble, because you never know what can happen. And just because you are up today, you can be down tomorrow. And the same people that you're looking down upon can be in your position. Well, that is all for this video that I have today. Sorry that I was, doing a lot of rambling. Well, hopefully I wasn't trying to do a lot of rambling, but I hope you guys got something out of this story today. Again, congratulations to all of the graduates of 2023, whether you graduated in the spring or you're getting ready to graduate in the fall as well. And if you're about to graduate next year or in the fall or next couple of years, drop down below in the comments, like I said, what high school, after you graduate, of course, because I don't want anybody coming after my followers if you guys are in high school. But if you've already graduated from high school, comment that down below, where you graduated from, or if you're getting ready to graduate from college and you want to drop that down below too, to shout out your alma mater. Do that as well. I will like all the comments. Again, congratulations to all of you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much again for watching. Make sure you guys follow me on all my social media accounts to keep it with my life off camera. And make sure that you guys hit the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.